they come, let the DJ get it for the way on. And I want to see on stress, man. I want to enjoy myself. And I want to see on the Papa experience that never not show me. I just like enjoying this one to me that corner again. I can't play on my peace of mind, you know. I do win it for my head, yeah. I wanna in competition with nobody, but who never said. Baby, ready, I enjoy it. Baby, I get no body. Baby, ready, I enjoy it. Baby, I get no body. It's Dash.
I'm losing composure. I really need to focus. I really need to focus. Mm-hmm. There's something inside you, I've been what you want right now. In fact, I'm on my way right now. So tell me if you did, like I really did for you. Oh, like I did for you. I'm a young guy, they call you. I put to this time for your sake, so make you know they carry you. I'm a no April fool. Wait till I get my hands on you, cause I need your body closer. I love you when you bend over. Tell me make I come over. For your sake I pull over. I need your body closer. I love you when you bend over. Tell me make I come over. For your sake I pull over. Pull over. Girl, I've been outside waiting on you. She could call me, make I know, cause I'm in love, And if you need someone, then I'll be your hoe. You don't get no option, I be tough. I feel like when you come my way, there's something I must say. Tell me if you did like I really did for you. Oh, like I did for you. I'm a young guy, they for you. So this time for your sake, so make you know they carry you. I'm a no agree. Wait till I get my hands on you, cause I need your body closer. I love you when you bend over. Tell me make I come over. For your sake I pull over. I need your body closer. I love you when you bend over. Tell me make I come over. For your sake I pull over. Pull over.
It's STG.
Loving you, not scam. Every time, why am I money? Hello, baby, I be sensitive. You don't even know what you do to me. Yeah, all I'ma get you is scammer. I get follow you for bad. Baby, you blow my mind. I don't lie. See, baby, if you want to leave for me, go leave. Don't do shakara. Don't take carry your shoulder, go. As you see me so, baby, now because of you, I'm not go. See, I'm not go. Want to get to go, go. Want to get hello. See, I know they hear you again. You be like your network on the face. Meanwhile, Rosita, they yellow. If you break my heart today, me I go sharply replace. Carry another baby, give her what she wants. Smart thing you done the vex, you done the other. Good girl, better girl. See, baby, you want to leave for me, go leave. You shaka, carry your shoulder, oh. As you see me so baby, now because of you I don't go no. See I don't dey go. What you get, you don't you get. See baby, if you want to leave, don't be colleague. Don't put your cara, don't carry your shoulder. Oh. As you see me so baby, now because of you I don't go no. See I don't dey go. What you get, so go no you go. Don't be you. What you get, see baby, if you want to leave, don't be colleague. Don't put that cara, don't carry your shoulder. Oh. As you see me so baby, because of you I don't go no. See I don't dey go. What you get, see baby, if you want to leave, don't be colleague. Don't carry your shoulder. Oh. As you see me so baby, now because of you I don't go no.
Swaps.
But yes, already know. One thing that boy yes. Every the weather is getting cold, cold and time. Double sweater, I am young, ordinary, paranoid. I can picture this life without you, my life. Oh, baby. Sweet Fanta yellow, I know people forget you. So. If I speak English, you will. Cho, no working. I know what punish you. I want to punish you. If you see my baby, you go shut up. I'm gonna get too fine. Be makeup for me, baby, like now, no. Finish work for me, oh. Oh, tomato. Put that thing back, oh. Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the time is now 4:23 Minnesota time. This is your host, SUBOR, from coming live from the Maima Goyah studio. We want to welcome you to the show. We hope wherever you are, we say happy, blessed weekend. For those people that are celebrating Halloween, we say happy Halloween. We hope you trick or treat, be safe, wash your kids, and let you have a fun time. Once again, this is your host, SUBOR, from coming live from the Maima Goyah studio. We are glad to have you. We say welcome to my brother Barcy Williams. Veteran Star, we say thank you. We appreciate you. We recognize you. And so tonight, before we begin the show, we want to, like normally we do on the broadcast, we first and foremost like to acknowledge the presence of God, because without His grace, His mercy, there will be no Maima Goyah show. There will be no SUBOR Freeman, and we always like to. We don't take that lightly when we say that. We don't take that lightly. No way. We take it seriously, and so we want to tell God thank you for everything. He's good. He's faithful. He's just. And so tonight we want to take this time to welcome you. We also want to remind you again about our open invitation that we normally do on the show. We invite you to join us Monday to Thursday. We are on the prayer line. And like I said, there is so much stuff going on right now that nobody can sit there and pretend that we do not feel the heat. But the only way we can be, the only way we can be, the only way we can be like calm in the midst of the storm is only one man, and that is God. Jesus is the only one man that can give us that insurance, because a lot of times we can't understand everything that going on around us. As I sit here before you doing the show, I'm doing it with a heavy heart, because the fact that I lost my grandson, tomorrow he will be laid to rest. So you see, I can't get through the day if I didn't know that there is God, and I found comfort and trust in Him. And so that is why I encourage us. If you don't have a prayer line, I invite you to come and join our prayer line. We meet Monday to Thursday on the prayer line from 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock p.m. Minnesota time, under the guardianship of the senior pastor of Mount Zion Interdenominational Church, Pastor Richard Wanochie. And all I'm saying, just come and give it a try. Monday, Thanksgiving. Tuesday, we study the Bible. Wednesday, all prayers. Thursday, we study the Bible. And you can't, we got people from California, we got people from New York, Florida, Pennsylvania, you name it. And so we meet, and we build our hope and our trust based upon testimony. Faith comes by hearing, and hearing and hearing the word of God. And so that is why I encourage you, because I know a lot of things that are happening on the line. And for me, part of the reason that why the show was established is to actually encourage and share meaningful information that will benefit us. And that is why every time I come on the line, I make sure I mention that to us, because it is imperative that we actually take advantage of that. And so today, let me just give you the lineup. Like you see, what I call Week in Review Friday. That is everything that happened during the week. We will be discussing it. Again, the telephone number to get on the line is 763 220-3264. That's the telephone number for the prayer line, 763-220-3265. Monday to Thursday, we meet. Monday, Thanksgiving. Tuesday, we study the Bible. Wednesday and Thursday, meet in person and online. You do not have to be in Minnesota to be part of the prayer line. You can just dial that number. There is no code, and you go right in. And so we want to say happy birthday to all those who are celebrating their birthdays in this month of October. As you all fully aware, we will be saying goodbye to October. And so see how far we are come. November, December, and then what? We're starting a brand new year. And so we want to say happy birthdays to all those who are celebrating their birthday in the month of October. We pray that God bless you with all of your secret heart desire, long life, good health, peace of mind. If your wedding anniversary fall on your birthday, will say double shout out to you and your special loved one. We pray that God will bless our holy matrimony homes with love, unity, peace, and understanding. And that God will continue to order you guys' footsteps as you celebrate another birthday and another anniversary. If you are bereaved, we also want to take this time to extend our heartfelt condolences to you and your family. We pray that God will comfort you, God will console you, God will strengthen you during a difficult time of bereavement. I also want to use the time to extend my sincere condolences to my son, Jara, for the loss of his son. Like I said on the show, we are bereaved, but we're praying for the family. And I hope you pray for our family as we mourn the loss of our son, our nephew, our grandson, our boyfriend, and what have you. And so tomorrow you'll be laid to rest in Vaniguestan, Tori district. And so tonight we hope to have the duly elected chairman of the ANC, Dr. Emmanuel Clay George. And so he's supposed to be our guest. As you all know, ANC had the election last weekend, and that Emmanuel was elected as a newly chairman of the ANC diaspora. So hopefully we supposed to have him as a guest to tell us his plan moving forward. How can you what's what? How can he re-energize the party? How can he unite the diaspora? And how can he make that into reality in Liberia? How you plan to work with the political party back home in Liberia? And then we'll be looking at the hot button issues in Liberia and around the world. So we hope you hang tight, and we hope that you having a very very chill weekend. And so we will be discussing a lot of. We'll be looking at the dismissal of the former Lands and Environment Minister, former chairman of the Unity Party, Wilmer P. And we'll look at various hot button issues that are making headway in Liberia. We'll also touch on the technically, but today is the 31st. And so today, Mr. Garcia is supposed to be arriving in Liberia. And what people make of what we're giving in return for Liberia hosting Mr. Garcia. So we'll also look into that, and then we will review current issues that are unfolding right now in our country. And so that will be our Friday, and in between, we will play music. And like I said, as soon as we can get Dr. Clay, we'll let you know. But last week, I always say to people, we have so many people that watch this show. Unfortunately for them, most of them are not Liberians. But I said the reason, the purpose for which this show was created, or the reason why the show started, it is because we were told that they need a voice or new voice, a voice that is very objective, a voice that is not too politicized, a voice that is independent, a voice that can bring different dimension to this platform. And so one of those people that actually encouraged us, may his soul rest in peace, was the late Eddie Jibamo. And we want to make sure that Eddie, we are very grateful, even though he didn't live to see what we are doing right now. And part of that was to inform the Liberian people. Because right now, not just Liberia, but almost every part of the world, I believe that we listen to people who will tell us things that we want to hear, who align with our vision or who support our party. In this case, that is not the purpose of this show. That's number one. Number two, we said to ourselves, we're not going to come on the show to gossip, to talk nonsense, or to talk foolishness. What the show was created for was to educate, teach civics, make the people to understand politics. Because I believe a lot of time in Liberia, where I'm from, my home country, I think the information that is going out is it hasn't been really filtered. And so people listen to people that will put what they believe. And the media practitioners in Liberia have taken advantage of that, including all our online platforms. And so we very grateful, and we will continue to stay with our viewers. And we know by God's grace, in due time, we will get the numbers that we need. But until then, I encourage each and every one of us, we have to get involved with Liberia. It doesn't matter. And so for us, it is not about political affiliation. It's about speaking the truth, highlighting things that are important to us, something that will create awareness, educate us. How can we problem solve? And so, having said that, this is a beautiful time to transition. I was a little bit disappointed. I was a little bit frustrated. I don't know if I should use the word, yeah, but not surprised. Because when the Liberian people went to the poll 1 year, almost 10 months, one of the things they were crying about was people were not performing and Open kept them around. And so they were frustrated. They talk about accountability, they talk about corruptions, they talk about the respect for the rule of law, they talk about you name it. And so they gave the rescue government the mandate because things that they were hoping to see or they wanted to see on Opon, it was not happening. And so we all know what happened last week when women people were fired. And I'm surprised to see the tone of people. People trying to put different spin as if to say that they didn't read the comment or the reason behind dismissal. You are not just the only person. Check med school at RIA. We also learned that he did turn in his resignation, including the board chair. Also, the president accepted his resignation. And the president made clear that this government was up for real business. President said, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I'm going to accept anything less than or anything less than mini yoga. I want result. And so I was thinking that the Liberian people will embrace the fact that a man of that magnitude, a decision, because people who know Wemope say he is one of those people that have one of those people that have been with the United Party, you are fully responsible for the removal of President Eddie Joseph Salif. And so we understand that this brother play a very pivotal role. He played a very important role in the election of Joseph Boakai. And so for Joseph Boakai to fire him, and so the spin I hear people saying, not just in Liberia, is the fact that instead of people welcoming that type of move, we see people are getting upset. Some people say, now, those are talking point from some of the people that we heard from, that the reason why the women fire or women pay is because you wanted women pay to carry out some, wherever, how you want to call it, something. And that was the reason behind the dismissal of women pay. And it made me sad. Okay. And so, folks, we do have Dr. Imaya Clay. He's in the studio. And so for now we have our guest, so we will pause. And so that Imaya Clay, if you can unmute yourself. And like I told you on top of the show, we're going to have a guest, the newly elected chairman of the ANC diaspora, Dr. Emmanuel Clay George. And now we do have him, as you can see right there. And so we're going to be asking a series of questions. And Dr. George, we say thanks for accepting our invitation. Welcome to the Members of Goyah show. We hope you are doing well.
Thank you, SUBOR. I'm doing very great. Thank you for the invitation. It's good to be here with you this evening. How are you doing? And good evening to your viewers, both on Facebook and YouTube, other places that you are broadcasting.
I'm doing wonderful. I'm doing well. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. We like we told our viewer, we're going to be talking to you today because once again, we want to say congratulations.
Thank you.
So well done, beautiful campaign ran, and you reap the benefits. So we say congratulations on your okay. And so that George, can you tell the people a little bit about yourself? Because ANC, before you come in, as a man who lives in Minnesota, and as a man who do this show, we've been getting a lot of should I say concern about the ANC and in the beautiful state of Minnesota. I think there are a lot of people who want to talk to. They say, oh yeah, I'm an ANC, but the party is dead. What you guys are doing? And we continue to promise people that, you know why? ANC is not dead, but it's in what I call rebuilding mode. And so even when we talk to point in Liberia, they say we're not seeing the energy from the party because clearly the Liberian people know they are giving a Unity Party 3 terms. So Unity Party been in power for 18 years. I would say 18. They gave CDC change, and the result almost the same. And so people are truly anxious. People are truly anxious. And they say, okay, and when you talk to people, they say, we're looking at Cummings. And I think there's a good chance for the ANC because so far, the expectation that the Liberian people had for the rescue mission a little bit dicey. And so, as a man who ran a beautiful campaign last week in Atlanta, Georgia, you won the election, and you know the problem facing the party both in the diaspora and in Liberia. So my first question to the judge, what is your plan? How do you unite the party in America and in Liberia?
Yeah, those who are on the fence, who are having a lot of questions, we start first. We had a wonderful convention in Margibi County, in Kakata, to be exact, that brought over 300 supporters of the Alternative National Congress together. At the end of that convention, Mr. Alexander B. Cummings, the political leader, was re-elected political leader, and Mr. Lafayette Gould was elected the chairman of the party. That became was part of the momentum of the party. Before that, we have had momentum going into our convention. So yes, like every big organization, at the end of the 2023 elections, we were shocked with the results we have. Our some of our members were disenchanted. Some of our members were going through some period of depression because of the energy we put into that. But and then the Liberian people have labeled, quote unquote, the ANC as a greedy party, and that Mr. Cummings was a greedy person.
Mm-hmm.
So when you find yourself in such a situation, you want to give governance an opportunity to strive, an opportunity to show what we're talking about all the time. So we're kind of quiet, because if we have started causing noise immediately after elections, people will have said the same thing. So the party went kind of quiet to give Mr. Joseph Boyka a chance to prove himself. Unfortunately, he did not. And that's the reason why we have come up with this momentum in Monrovia. We just came from Atlanta. We're calling around all our members. In December, God willing, after I've completed some conversation, the first weekend in December, we'll be in Minnesota with a team to work with our team in Minnesota and to re-energize our party. So that's our first call of duty, our leadership, our call of duty, as I promised at the convention. My very first travel will be in Minnesota. So we finalizing the first weekend in December, we should be a Liberian work-free weekend to be in Minnesota. I will be coming along with all things work. Mr. Monin Kishan will be joining me. He have said he would love to be part of the trip. Mr. Siafa Green will be coming along with me. So we will be bringing a team that will shows that even though we're on different sides during the election, we have all come together to strive to take this party forward. Last night, I had a good conversation with Miss Yometro Mensa, Mistress Yometro Mensa, and we'll continue having conversation. After this morning, I started a conversation with Chairman Melvin Logan. We'll continue that conversation this evening, because we will be coming to Minnesota. We look forward to coming to Minnesota strong and to energize the base, take any question and see how we can strengthen the party going forward.
Okay, as soon as you already telling us that the first weekend in December, so we'll make sure to get the message out to ANC that are in Minnesota. But I know we almost at the end of 2025, and a lot of time we play with time. We think that 2029 is far off, but 2029 is right around the corner. And so we know for sure that you will roll up your sleeve, you put your hand in the dirt, you will work hard to make sure, and I like what you said, you're getting everybody involved, even those people that participated in the elections that they didn't win, bring them on board. People that disagree, not because you guys hate each other, it's just partisan different vision. How you want to lead the party, how the other man, it's just ideas. But bottom line, what run through our blood is Liberia first, ANC second. And so I like the fact that you're thinking in that direction. But one thing that I will admit to you is the fact that people are very tired that the only time ANC can be the only time ANC can move when Mr. Comey move. So when Mr. Comey is not moving, there is no ANC. When Mr. Comey move, then ANC move. So, and I say that not just, I'm not too concerned about America. I'm more concerned about Liberia. People talk and complain about the bureaucracy. The channel in meeting Mr. Cummings. He's not involved. And I tell people all the time, Mr. Cummings cannot be all over the place. We need people, leadership on the ground that will get involved into selling and promoting the agenda of the ANC party. So that, what do you tell the people that are on the fence that still have problem with that? Looking at the same good that just won the election. A lot of people got problem with that. What is your message to those people?
Well, the message is that is for us to look at what have been happening recently, right? If you look at what have been happening recently, you will quickly understand and you quickly realize that the youth movement under the leadership of Mr. Aliyu Kide has been making serious inroads. They had a very beautiful press conference today where they lay out our economic policy in a layman terms. And every Friday, the youth have different programming at the party headquarters, and they have been having various meetings. The Women Win has been energized, and they have started their own. They had a meeting about 3 or 4 weeks ago. Moving forward, look, whether we like you or not, Mr. Alexander Benedict Cummings is the political leader of the Alternative National Congress. We voted him and we support him because he's the leader. And in politics, the political leader drives the political momentum of the political party. He sets the tone, he sets the policy. So at times when we, the foot soldiers, are waiting, we are waiting for orders. Like when you are in the army, you don't just take your gun and go to any battlefront to fight. You have to get a clear and concise order from the general so that you can know where your positioning is. And we all were waiting for the order. Now that we have the order from the political leader, every one of us in different leadership capacity know what we're supposed to do, how we're supposed to do it, and what is expected of us. So since we came back from convention, in fact, the very first Tuesday after convention, the political leader laid down a very clear directions for every leader of the party. So the directions that include every one of us working significantly to make sure that we make a very significant impact in the very district our party headquarters is. That every leader of the party should have significant impact in their community so that people can see our leaders and know they are leader of the Alternative National Congress. No more will you have leaders of the Alternative National Congress that are not visible in the community or are not visible in the society, and they cannot stand up and say, I'm a member of the Alternative National Congress. So that's the reason why when I came for a while, I'm all around the place. Everybody know, people got to know my face that I support Mr. Cummings. We are no longer going to have leaders who support Mr. Cummings in leadership capacity, who support the Alternative National Congress, that are not in the forefront of leading this race. And that's what we have to do. Our people are energized. The youth movement have been registering new members almost every week. And now that we have completed this convention here in the United States of America, and the convention simultaneously, SUBOR, in Europe, the Europeans elected a new team of leaders led by Mr. Steve Carley right now. Europe is moving. We in the US we have been able to get leadership together. The political leader will be going back to Liberia, and in the next couple of months he's going to be making some very strong statements and some very strong presentation that members of the party will know that we have our marching order and we have to work towards 2029. We have to work towards making the Liberian people understand that the Alternative National Congress is the alternative indeed.
All right. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is a whole SUBOR from coming live from the Maima Goyah studio. In studio with us today, we have the newly elected chairman of the ANC diaspora, Mr. Imaya Clay George, Dr. Clay George. And one of the team people have been wondering, and so many questions, my viewer has asked some of those questions, and so when a question comes to mind, we'll ask the question. One of the thing I know you do not control the leadership in Liberia, but it's a collaboration. When you observe something, and as a man, hands-on leader, I know you also speak to people in Liberia. And so suppose somebody tell you, say, but Mr. George, one of our problem here is two questions. One, yes, the ANC is getting better, but what do you say about decentralization, to decentralize the leadership, making sure that, hey, not all the time, Maruva got to move before Kakata move, before bombing go, or before grandkid man. Decentralization as number one. And number two, people talk about accountability. That means, and as I 100% agree with people who say ANC did not lose the election because of finance. ANC lost the election, or ANC did not reach out the way they're supposed to reach out, not because of finance. They lose it because mismanagement and accountability. That means funds were provided, but it was not used for the intended purpose. For example, like I seen some, like the bus that were provided for the women wing, that it not even got off the ground. So how do you, because these are concerns. Now, I'll be honest with you, people in Minnesota gave to the party. And one of the things they keep telling us, money that we raise, how do we use the money? So now you taking over, people again, if people are going to give money, people want to know, this time if we give money, we'll be able to see the results. Can you speak to that?
Oh, SUBOR, first of all, we all need to realize that running a political campaign or a political party is not cheap. It comes with a lot of money. The political leader himself plays about most of the money. I think about 65 to about 70% of the money we had came directly from the political leader. So no, we can have the conversation around that came from him. We as I'm a member of ANC Global. All the reporting we have showed that in the last election cycle we raised $1.something million to support political activity in Liberia. Now, you cannot, they're not saying 6 years of the political cycle, $1.something million. $1.something million that we raised cannot fund a political machinery as we want to fund our political machinery for 6 years. Like right now, one of my platforms that I'll be sharing and hoping we buy into it is to raise $1 million every year. Now, when it came to the issue of paying poll washer, we didn't have enough funds to pay poll washer. There are a lot of things we didn't have. Some people believe the money was there, right? But it wasn't there. Again, you have to have a party headquarters in the 15 counties. A party headquarters in the 15 counties. My chapter, the Texas chapter, paid for along with California. We had to join with California to fund the party headquarters in Monrovia. So that party headquarters, I think 1 year or 2 years rent cost us about $5,000. Now you have to have the Liberian flag, the county flag, and you have to equip those offices. We also had to go to Cape Mount County. We had to pay for party headquarters. Again, I'm talking because I was a co-coordinator for the Texas chapter and became the coordinator of the Texas chapter at a particular point in time. So I know about funding. So when it came to Cape Mount County, we had to fund Cape Mount County party headquarters. We had to equip the party headquarters of Cape Mount County. So if you take $5,000 or so, maybe say 10, 15,000, you replicate it by 15 counties, you have the understanding of how much funds we need. Now, each county have district. There are 73 districts we have to operate in. Within those 17 districts, you have district leaders, women wing leaders, and those leaders. You have to equip them at a level. Maybe 73 bags you have to put in those counties. All those things cost money. So when it comes to the real core funding, we spent a lot. Our members should really also understand it. When we joined the CPP arrangement, the ANC was the one that took the burden of the CPP arrangement throughout that arrangement. None of the other political parties put money on the table. And when those political parties left the table, they left us with a burden because we were the one taking care of that whole arrangement at that time. And when those of us in the diaspora and those of our members in Liberia funded that because we saw that was a success in the CPP. When we made the CPP successful, our brothers party who are member of the CPP SUBOR in the back and they left the party. They left the collaboration, thereby leaving us again with funny issues that we had to deal with all these people. We honor our chairmanship. We're successful in winning a lot of senatorial elections, including independent candidates. Some of the independent candidates, for example, Boto Kane was strongly supported by the CPP. In fact, the Secretary General of the ANC, Aloysius Stowe, were one of those who were arrested while he was strongly working on behalf of Boto Kane in Babulu County. So we did have a number of investment in that area. We did spend a lot because we saw that arrangement was working. But unfortunately, that arrangement came to a collapse. We have to recollaborate. We have to collaborate after we have invested a lot into that. And funding at the end of the day, funding became very, 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 very challenging. Now, if people say we had a lot of money, it means perhaps you didn't go to Monrovia. When I went to Monrovia for the election, all those who travel, you will get to understand that if you are in Montserrado County, almost every, especially in the Monrovia belt, almost every light pole from Cinco all the way down to the new bridge, as we call it, Gabriel Tucker Bridge, had a flag, images of former President Goyah and his vice presidential candidate. Almost every big billboard in the country, everywhere you have billboard, like Vamuma House, coming down Broad Street, coming down Crown Hill, all those places that have big billboards were filled with CDC billboards. So the entire area was filled with CDC. So it shows how much money. But we did not have that funding. We did not have funding we had limited billboards in the country. I don't think we had up to 20 or 30 billboards in the Monrovia area because funding was not a problem. That's why my administration decided we start early. As of January next year, we'll be looking for members who are willing to fund 660 of us. If we can put in $1,000 each, $2,000 each into this kettle, we will now we'll start preparing to have enough funding that will take us to the period of time. And then we work on transparency and accountability so people can see what the funding is. We are going to use every means, God willing, to expand our part. In fact, if we can raise $1 million next year, we're going to put $500,000 into a consolidated account. That $500,000 will be kept for poll watchers for 2029. We are not going to have. We're going to put that money in what they call in the USCB account. We're going to be in that CB until 2029. It's going to grow, and that funding now we have it set aside only for poll watcher. But we have work to do. And when you talk about decentralization, what have come out of the convention that we came from is that now.
Okay, but let me just say one of the. Yes. I want to drive a particular point. As a Minnesota chapter, I want people to understand. Let me be honest with people here, right? I understand serve as the co-chairman for the Minnesota chapter and later served as chairman going to the elections. The first convention was launched in Minnesota. I even served as the chairman on the strategic committee. My position, my turnover was given to Dr. Richardson, where we started meeting. I will leave that alone. But the Midwest were responsible for Nima County. And so when you see me ask the question about, sometimes it's not how much money you get, but how wisely you spend the money. How wisely you spend the money. Because I think all of our plan that we put forward, and I spoke to the first policy on this. And so that's why I'm asking that question. We can raise 200 million. If we still do not spend it wisely, we will not get the ultimate results that we are looking for. So it's not how much, it's the strategies that is put in place that will make us to yield the result that we are looking for. And so when you hear me talk about Minnesota, Senator King, people within our party, you could see the decline in membership, in due payment, and what have you. And people started to walk away from the party because they felt like, and I couldn't keep going by the people say we need money for this, we need money, because people say we are now understanding the end game. And so that's why I'm asking this question. Honor your leadership, because we raise the money, you don't control it when you go to Liberia. How effective will you be making sure if we raise, for example, we say it was 2026, January, we start January. You say first and first, we need to, let's say, put our party headquarters up to international standard. That means give it a facelift. For example, that the clay go to Morovia, see our party headquarters. We need to paint it, we need equipment, and what have you. You come back, you bring the message, people write it. I just gave you an example. For example, I walked through the party headquarters need to be painted. We need to fix the cylinders. We need to have computers and stuff. That thing will cost 5,000. All the very chapter writing the raise to 5,000 for that purpose. How will you that are clear under your leadership? Because that's what happened. We'll make sure that 5,000 is used for the internal purpose, that when people leave and go, and when they come back, they can then begin to say, oh, yes, the money that I pay when I visit the Liberia, I went to the party headquarters, yes, party headquarters is up to standard. So when you hear me say accountability and funding, how well will people, because people believe that money that was paid for certain things, they didn't really get to see the result. What will you do different?
Yeah, so what your listener and all those who feel in the same position you put it, we have to understand certain things that have changed in our party. At the meetings, the convention, it was voted that every recognizable ANC chapter or organization or branch, like here in the US and Europe, we have 5 members on the executive committee. 5 members. And we will be paying a yearly annual accreditation due of $10,000 to the party. So that's number one. Once we pay that annual $10,000 to the party, it gives us flexibility in how we work with funding. Second, we are not going. We are going to develop a collaborative partnership that when funding is going to Liberia, is going for a specific purpose. Now, I'm not going to be a leader that is going to be here in the US sending money and don't have teams in Liberia. we are working on a plan that every 3 months there will be a leader of the party that will be in Liberia to know what is happening on the ground. Every 3 months there will be members of this organization that will volunteer at a time to be in Liberia. So those leaders that will go every 3 months, under the leadership team that will go in Liberia will be able to investigate the patterns of how our funding is going on the ground and the pattern of how that funding is being sent, and they will be able to get a collaborative report. Every leader at every level of the organization right now, structural level, will deal directly with the leader of the structure. For example, the head of the youth wing will have a conversation with the chairman of the youth wing. They will work together a budget that the youth wing would need, and the head of the youth wing will be responsible to share her team of members of the youth council will be responsible to monitor every funding that goes to the youth wing and work with the youth wing with those funding. So yes, we're going to follow that and replicate that throughout the various counties. The vice chair operation and whatsoever operation we're going to be doing the counties will be replicated at that level. We're going to be in a very strong collaboration with Liberia, because the people on the ground know the ground game. The people on the ground know the ground better than most of us do. Some of us have not been active in Liberian politics for years. They know it better. We'll collaborate with them. But the collaboration will mean that every step of the way, we too will be part of this collaborative process. We are not going to leave the process to only in the hands of our brothers on the ground. We're going to work with them. We're going to be like a shadow in the back, supporting what they are doing. But yet themselves as a shadow in the back will be understanding that, if we need 10,000 for motorbike, that we want to get 73 motor. If we say we're getting 73 motorbikes, we need to understand the work the bikes are doing. The VCO operation will be able to give a report to the vice chair here, showing that these 73 bikes, this is the kind of work they're doing. This is how much time was spent in the community. This is how much work was done in those communities. And we'll not wait for people to give us a copybook. And we'll pick up the copybook with 60 names on the note. When we go to Liberia every 3 months, the team that will go on the ground will go to specific areas to see that, okay, if you say there are 60 members, how do we see these 60 members? And then we have a database that we are putting together. That database will be put into a bigger database that will work on from there. There are a lot of things we're doing, I can say on public radio, but definitely I can assure everyone that it's not going to be business like usual. Give us the first year of your funding to make a commitment that you're going to commit $1,000 to this effort every year. At the end of the first year, if you don't see the difference, don't trust our team any longer. I assure you that, and that's the commitment I give to every one of you, that you will see the work your money have been doing. You can go to my past. I started. Someone asked me where I started my career. I started my career at Babcock University in Nigeria. You can go back there and ask about me from the gate. People will tell you who I am, and they will tell you what progression I have done there. In Liberia, I was the country director for ADRA Liberia. You can go back to Liberia and ask people what I did as the country director and how much funding I developed at that time. So we have records of our life here and there that you can see how much footprints we have left where we work, where we stay at the time we stay. And that footprint is what I'm bringing to the ANC. And I can show every member of the Alternative National Congress, you will see your money working. You will see it, you will feel it, you will understand it, and you will believe it, because that's the assurance I'm giving to you.
Thank you. 2 questions, and then maybe you can say anything after that. Two questions. The first one is, do you intend to start from the scratch, or will you use some of the framework that is already in place that was put in place by the past leadership? For example, like I give you one example, like dividing Liberia into region, Midwest or East Coast, West Coast, where people say, okay, this region is responsible for full county. When I'm talking about framework, that's what I'm talking about. Are you going to start from scratch, or will you use some of the framework that's already in place and just reinforce it? That's the first question. The second question, people are worried that the last collaboration that the ANC went into, they were warning. People did not feel comfortable. And he said, Mr. Cummings, it will be best for us to stay alone and find a way to see how we can work to earn the trust of the Liberian people. Other people said, no, there is no way you can defeat the CDC. We have to come together you have to form a coalition. That's how the C people were born. And so, I know, the rest of Liberia know, it didn't work out the way it's supposed to. And the ANC took bulk of the hit in every shape, perform. And you make a very important point. During the existence of the CPP, financially, ANC shadowed the burden of the financial aspect. But when it came to the election, Unity Party and the rest of the people walked victorious. So, as the party chairman, what is your mindset towards coalition?
Thank you for that question. It's a wonderful question, and people keep asking about that. Yes, if you look at Liberian political history since 2005, almost all political parties have to enter into a collaboration to win the elections. No one political party has successful. In fact, the CDC became, instead of the Congress of Democratic Party, it became the Coalition of Democratic Change, not Congress of Democratic Change. The same thing you can see when you have the conversation with the Unity Party. They went into various collaboration, even though at this time, some of those who are collaborating with them are not benefiting. So it's like normally you have to go there. But, there is a saying that I take personal and I respect a lot. Whenever you get on an airline, SUBOR, they start this conversation. The air hostess will start it, but now with the modern airlines, you will see it at the back of your seat. It says that in the time of emergency, an oxygen mask is going to drop. When that oxygen mask drops, take the mask and put it to your face first before you can help any other person. So right now where we are is as ANC, we are taking that mask and putting it to our face first. We are developing ourselves as a party. We are growing ourselves as a party. Once we have grown and we have known our strength, then we will go into collaboration. If there is a need to be if there is a need for a collaboration, we'll go into a collaboration. One of one of those who mentor me, Madam one of those who mentor me, Madam Monger, used to tell us this when I live in Ghana. She says, "Snake, I do not allow snake to bite me twice." And in Liberian parable, we say when snake bite you, even rope, when you see rope, you will be afraid of it. And that's why we are now. We enter a collaboration with all our heart. Look, when we came back, I decided to write a book. But I put that book on hold because the political leader have not released certain things that were engaged in. And when I interview for how the CPP came about, when Boyka Jaliba was trying to convince the Unity Party to be part of the CPP, they refused. The first person to accept the CPP arrangement was Mr. Alexander B. Cummings. He was the first person to accept the CPP arrangement. It was when Mr. Cummings accepted it and these young people from the Unity Party, the Boyka Jaliba, were having interactions, and the Unity Party folks saw that the youth were being so close to Mr. Alexander B. Cummings. That is when the Unity Party and others decided, let us join this ship before we lose our youth. So Mr. Kwame was the first person to accept this engagement. He was the first. He energized. There were people in the ANC, like myself. I would say, like myself, I can put myself forward. I was not in leadership at that time. I was still in the Texas chapter, but I was vocal against it. I said I didn't see it as an arrangement for us to be a part of, because you cannot trust these people who have ruled our country for 12 years, and we have been in opposition to what they were doing. But as a political, as a politician and a member of a party, I decided to be disciplined along with the party, and we all came on board. We came on board with our finances. We came on board with our strategy. We came on board with our plan. Every ANC member came 100% into this collaboration. And what happened to us at the end of the day? These people accuse us of fingering document. And after that, we can see them fingering everything in the country. It's not only document, they're fingering everything in the country, including the justice system, they finger corruption, they are fingering all around the country. So the Liberian people can see that we were not a fingering party. The Unity Party and its collaborators were the fingering party. So now we have to make sure that we're strong enough as a party before we go into any collaboration. That's the first. The second thing, if we have to go into collaboration, everyone coming into that collaboration will be very clear as to the direction of which this collaboration was going in. We'll hope that no one the document will be so clear that no one will have Alzheimer's at the end of the day. Because what happened is that when we're about to go to convention, we're about to go to convention to select a political leader, the Unity Party folks got Alzheimer's. They how they call them? Mr. Urian, his party ALP got Alzheimer's. Yes. Half of Liberty Party got Alzheimer's. So they decided to behave like they did not know the document and the agreement within the document. So they decided to break up from there. So we'll be very clear with that path when it comes to the issue of collaboration. We are not going to run into it, but for the next couple of years, we want to make sure that we are strong as a political entity called the Alternative National Congress. We are building ourselves and people can see the force. But there's a path to winning this election, but we have to do the work. The Unity Party is starting 18 steps ahead of us, because every round of the election, the Unity Party is very sure of getting 18% of the vote and building it up. The CDC is 25 steps ahead of us. Every round of the election, the CDC folks are very sure of getting 25% of the vote. So there are 18 steps and 25 steps. That is 43% of the vote. There is 57% of the voters that sits there and waiting for a strong party to come to them. There were SUBOR, you and I, and the rest of those who support the Alternative National Congress have to do the work. In the last election, the first round of the election, 522,000 Liberians did not vote. In the second round of the election, over 800,000 Liberians did not vote. So if over 800,000 Liberians are not voting, it's because they don't support any of the two parties. So we have to make the case. We have to find the right messaging. We have to walk in the villages. We have to walk in the poo-poo water. We have to bring our money on board for this thing to work, because there is a path that is waiting for us, but every one of us have to roll up our sleeve and do this work. We can no longer be crying as member of the Alternative National Congress. We can no longer be talking about the spilled milk of 2023. 2023 have passed. We are in 2025, and ahead of us is 2029. And hopefully, every one of us will get on board and to start to look up to 2029, when we will do the work together. We will work hard this time, harder than we have ever worked, because we know. Look, if you have seen a political leader, he has learned over the years. His messaging is different now. The way he talks about Liberian issue is different now. He understands the path. But we who are the foot soldiers, we who are the generals besides the commander, we have to do the work. And that is why we'll be calling on all our diasporans that support the ANC. We need you. If you are a nurse, the ANC needs you. If you are an educator, the ANC needs you. If you are a plumber, the ANC needs you. If you work in mental health, the ANC needs you. If you work in drugs control, the ANC needs you. Whatsoever you work in, I will be coming to you, put you in your professional group, and will tell you what to do when you get to Liberia. We must start it now. Never you travel to Liberia without having a clear direction of what work the ANC expect for you to do. So if you're going in December for 2 weeks holiday, Let us know that you're going in December for 2 weeks holiday because we have some work we want you to do. If you're going in March for holiday, let us know. We have some work that we want you to do. If you're going in June, July, we have some work we want you to do. Get in touch with us. Call SUBOR, call other members of the party. Tell them, I'm going to Liberia for 2 weeks, and we will see how we can work with your schedule to give you an assignment on behalf of Mr. Alexander Benedict Cummings and the Alternative National Congress. We will put our arms around you. We'll use your intelligence so that the Liberian people can understand that, yes, we are not just a party that comes after every 6 years, but we are an active party working on the ground. So we have work to do, and hopefully every one of us will come on board. Thank you so much, SUBOR, for inviting me. It's been a very wonderful conversation.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. George. I really appreciate it. I hope to get you back next time. Ready to. We'll make sure we work hard and we'll make sure to spread the message. Thank you. Look forward to seeing you in December, Chief. Have a pleasant evening. Stay safe, stay warm. My regards to the family. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
That was Dr. Emmanuel Clay George, the newly elected chairman of the ANC Diaspora of America. You heard it from his mouth. He's energized. The parties is energized. The first party is energized. The Alternative National Congress is energized. So buckle up, roll up your sleeve, get ready, let's unite, let's get ready for a fight. Thank you. We'll play you some music and then we'll come back and then we'll discuss the other issues we're talking about.
Bluetooth pairing. Bluetooth connected.
I don't get here for what good talk. Ain't get time for much talk. Get my problems, so yeah, where to take my troubles away. And I have my head. I just want your leg. Tell a shisha me to chineko and bring my jawan kole. Yeah. Like I want anymore. How can I get so suma? You bet your own energy. I just want be happy. Happy, happy. I just want be happy. I just want be happy. When I wake up in the morning, God, make my blessing never stop. Even about the money, no, I'm never gonna pick a call. 2 bad energy, just give me my G's, yeah. We shall only be happy. I mean, I'm always in my lane. I do my hustle when I don't complain. Oh, another blessing, now one blessing, follow me. Happy people everywhere. Raise your voices in the air.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was your party chairman from the ANC, the newly elected party chairman, Dr. Emmanuel Clay George. You heard it from his mouth. The party is energized. How you plan to unite the party and how you going to do things differently and inviting everybody to come on board and see how we can take our country in a different directions. And so I hope you share that video. That is that of Emmanuel Clay George. the newly elected diaspora chairman. We really appreciate him for coming and giving us a couple of his time. We are grateful. But we were talking before that the judge came aboard. I'm a little bit frustrated with some of the news that I'm hearing from Liberia. The fact that we're trying to allow something, if you not aware, last week around Tuesday, the news broke that the Lands and Mine Minister, former party chairman Wilmer P, was fired. And they were ordered reshuffle. And so the reason why Wilmer P is being discussed is because I think a lot of times we get this thing wrong. And sometimes we look at it as because this person worked or because this person was so vocal, that means if they're underperforming, we're supposed to keep them there. And so from CDC, from Unity Party, some of the criticisms are coming from Liberia. I want the Liberian people to understand we have to get away from the mindset. It is foolish, it is stupid. Because when we complain about something and somebody come and do it, then we find way again to say, oh no. Because no. Joseph Buckeye, everybody wants resort in Liberia right now. You live right in Liberia. One of the hot button issues in Liberia, is the lands and mass issues that are unfolding. Minerals, illicit mining. We talk about climate change. On the show, we talk about the Black Sea leaving the country in thousands, if not millions. And yet and still, the people cannot see the results. And who's responsible? Who's supposed to make that change? You know, we made that mistake 1980. We continue to make that same mistakes. When the so-called progressive, when they were running all around criticizing the late William Arrow Toddball, they never had a comprehensive plan, a plan that they could say from day one, if God bless us and we get the opportunity to lead, these are the things we're going to do from day one. And so, 1980, all the politics that were preaching, when the opportunity was presented to them, they were lost. They had no plan. That is the reason why you see our country is in its mess. And so it is about time that we start to pay attention to that. And so if Wilmer P, who almost spent 2 years as Lands and Mine Minister, and business is done as usual, then tell me, then where did the people vote for change? And so for people to try to post spin, I think we should embrace the fact that at least the president is willing to make some changes. And for people to start expressing a dissatisfaction and people taking to various media platforms to discredit is wrong. And Liberian people, you got to be smarter than that. People who trying to make the thing look like the president fired Wilmer P because he don't let Wilmer P, or because the president wanted Wilmer P to steal, because they just want the country to keep going the direction that it's going in. And we all agree that our country need different direction. Our country need new breed of leadership. And we can see that was the reason why the CDC failed massively. Because people who are in leadership didn't even have the requisite experience or the aptitude or the willpower. And so what we had there for the past 6 years, it was the same old thing over and over and over and over and over. And so we have to get to a place that will be very objective in our criticism. We have to call truth, or how to call spade or spade. We have to be able to give credit. And so for people to start to talk about, oh, the only reason why you were fired because that's bull rag. That is what I call bull rag. The country is bleeding. We have to be smarter than that. We can't allow seeing people to continue to play games for us. We cannot. And so we're going to go straight into the headline. And so you can see for yourself what is unfolding. We're going to go straight into our second phase. So you see the first one said Liberia, Senator Dopo question PPCC on 25% local business threshold. Say Liberians still watching foreigners control the economy day after local friend crowd far over yellow machine. Now, I still looking, if again, one of the things, if anybody I can accept, it can be discussed. If you tell me, say, this president here sometimes is selective firing, I think I can listen to that. Because when I look at the labor ministry, Senator Darius data talk about over 20,000 work permits have been issued. And whereby you got Liberians in the country. People are graduating from college, from high school, and they can't even get a job. And here you are, Senator Dopo question, PPCC on 25% of local business. Stay, Liberians are still foreigner in their own, in foreigner control their economy day after local. Just imagine. And I remember that was one of the powerful messages. When Upon said to an inaugural speech that Liberian will not be spectator in an economy. Here we are, we're to the same place. Senator Francis Dopo, chairman of the Senate Committee on Post and Telecommunication, has criticized the government for allowing Liberians to remain spectators in their own economy, citing the failure of the Public Procurement and Concession Commission to enforce a key provision of the budget law of 2024. Representing River G County in the 55th National Legislature, Senator Dopo highlighted that the law requires at least 25% of all goods and services, including capital projects, to be awarded to Liberian-owned businesses. The measure also mandates that all government ministries and agencies submit quarterly report to the legislature through the Legislative Budget Office on compliance. Now, you hear it from the senator from River G. In some of the things, sometimes some of the things that already get to me, some of the frustration is that when I hear the good thing, then I sit down to myself and say, what are you guys doing? Senator Tupo, what are you guys doing? What measure has been put in place to make sure that the agency or the ministry that continue to violate the law, people who are not enforcing the law? What's going on with that? And these are some of the inconsistencies when it comes to this president. Liberians are still spectators in our own economy. But you can't put all on the president. That's why we got 3 branches of government. The 2 branches of government answer to the first branch, which happens to be the national legislature. They provide oversight, check and balance. And so when I see the thing there, I crunch, because we expect these people to be able to if the people not doing it, then you got to hearing with the incontent, do whatever the Senate can do and make sure. You can't just go to put it on the executive branch. So that's what I mean. And these are things that Liberians need to pay attention to. These are things they have to pay attention to. These are what they cause to get into the street. The men from the government are they must implement and honor what is written in our constitution. But we do not do that. Liberia, President Boakai Macron reaffirmed Liberia-French relations as foreign minister signed general cooperation agreement. President Joseph Yuman Boakai has kicked off his state visit to France with a bilateral meeting with French President Emmanuel Macron at the Elysee Palace, focusing on deepening Liberia-France relations, expanding cooperation in critical development sector, advancing the Liberia international profile. As you can see, the president is away, already in France, meeting with the French president. So there you have it. What we got here next? What next? Weekly review. Liberty Party urged government to build on U.S. visa success with wider diplomatic consular reform. The opposition Liberty Party has commended the Boakai administration for what they describe as monumentous diplomatic achievement, the extension of U.S. visa for Liberian citizens from 1 year to 3 years. The party urged the administration to build on the milestone through broader diplomatic and consular reform. This is one of the things, give credit where credit due. I know a lot of people got their own, and these are some of the frustrating things. This type of hot issues right now, the government continue to negotiate, the government continue to reach out. And so whenever there's a breakthrough, we have to give credit where credit due. I always say I admire the foreign minister, Beslo Yanti or Yanti Beslo, however you call her. But I think she's been very proactive. Since she took office, she's been very proactive. And sometimes that's what we need. We just need to see changes. So even if you're a man or woman who can read or read, or boy or girl who can read or read, but just through the media and you hearing some of the accomplishment, at least you will know that she is not just sitting. That's what we need from every sector of our leadership to try and promote Liberia. And so I want to say congratulations to the Boakai administration. The next Liberia Senator Duncan threatened lawsuit if new ODs are rectified a day after ex-Speaker Kufa representability won against controversial the Atlas Oriental Agreement. The controversy surrounding Liberia's recent oil exploration agreement, depending on Wednesday when Sano County Senator Creighton O'Donkey threatened to file a lawsuit against the government of Liberia if the national legislature goes ahead to ratify the production sharing contract recently signed with the Allies onto petroleum and total energy. You know, I've always said this. Part of the reason why you see people of you crying is because if they haven't had piece of the pie, then that's when they can't cry in fireplace. Because Senator Donkey, I agree, but you know, it's one of the topics we need to dive in the oil issue. This oil issue is one of the things we need to go. And so it will be something that we will continue to monitor as we go as we follow well unfolding with the oil in Liberia. Liberia school principal in the Makane suspended for allegedly graduating unqualified students. There you have it. Kanta Nima County, the county educational officer of Nima County, Francis G. Ligue, has suspended Yan Taylor, senior principal for John Wesley PSC High School, following a graduation ceremony on Sunday at Liberia International Christian College, where 295 students graduated. That is the story in our country. You find corruption in every area of our country. And so these are things that have to stop. We all have to play our part. You know, that's what when people talk about, oh, the government that did, the government that that. If you are given a position to do your job, you have to do your job. We have to do our job. You don't get paid to cheat. It is coming upon every one of us to do our job. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say that is your weekly review. Once again, I want to say thanks to each and every one of you for tuning in. This is your boss about different saying so long from the beautiful state of Minnesota. We will be back here, same time, same place. Hey, we look forward to you know, sometimes just come on the show. Sometimes come. Like today we have Dr. Clay was here today. We want to hear from you. We want to hear from you. We want to hear from you. Come. Come, let's discuss. Bring your questions. Sometimes we want guests. We want you to be able to ask the guest question. Yes, we want to hear from you. Once again, we want to say thanks for watching. We will be back here. Same place, same spot. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Stay blessed. Good night, everybody. We leave you with this. Once again, this is your host of Afrima coming live from the Maima Goyah studio. Have a pleasant evening.
When the weight of the world is heavy on me, when the night feels cold and I can't find peace, I lift my eyes to the heavens above. You hold me close and unfailing love. Lord, you are my strength, my song in the night. You carry my soul. You fight all my fights. In you I will trust. Forever I stand. My refuge, my savior, holding my hand when my spirit is weak and I cannot go on. Your mercy reminds me that I still belong. Your word is my life, my hope and my shield. In your holy presence, my soul is healed. Lord, you are my strength, my song in the night. You carry my soul. You fight all my fight. In you I will trust. You I will trust. Forever I'll stand. My refuge, my savior, holding my hand. Though mountains may tremble, though waters may roar.
It won't shock me. You know with a what?
Forever I'll sing. My strength, my portion.
No. No excuse for the other one here.
Lord, you are my strength, my song in the night. You carry my soul.
What's wrong?
You fight all my fight.
Remember, people cool. Everybody cool. Whatever people are cool.
My refuge, my you are my strength.
Everybody cool. I don't want to be around. I don't want to go next to our I want to be on there. Oh, man. When you come to get your way back, and Jerry group behind you are begin. You did a small Jerry. Yeah. Yeah. Ah, begin. I thought Jerry would be on here before. What Daba?
Grace could be.
Oh.
What would it say? My voice came like a second skin.
Wow.
Built my walls too high to let you in. Held tight to give like it was gold. But it never warmed me when the nights got cold. I run from love, run from truth.
What?
Try to drown
now saying the name, why the thing? How do you, they didn't let them children for them to along the way. That they might take joy along the way. I determined. A melody of mercy through everything. It wouldn't keep score. It wouldn't accuse. You say you're still mine, no matter what you do. In the silence, in the storm, in the mess and the noise, I believe I do. Your grace and voice. I walked roads that you would break me down. Still wore a smile when I should have drowned. But grace, it met me on the edge of night. Held me close when I gave up the fight. It didn't shake me or turn away. It just stayed steady when I would pray. Like a song I never learned to play. But it kept coming in. So you're well ready. Your grace had a voice. I think it would say. Make sure down. Lullaby makes a lost heart. And you working tomorrow, then you up on Sunday. It wouldn't reach loud. It wouldn't condemn. It say, come on home. That's good. I know where you've been. Through the silence, through the storm, through each broken choice, I believe I give love.